get you. Hello.
Hello.
Philip.
Daniel.
I'm Daniel Cardiff.
I'm Philip Osterday.
And this is Classic Countdown Conversations.
Where we count down the best
and the worst
that media has to
offer when we feel like it. You said you did it in a weird way. I didn't know what else to say.
I wanted us to go back and forth word for word, but you just
okay.
you didn't let that happen.
I'm sorry. Maybe next time.
Oof.
In 2 weeks, we'll do it word for word.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Yeah.
Hey, Daniel.
Yes.
Spookellington.
Spookellington.
Did I get you? Did I get you good?
No, but I like that face you made.
Yeah. Spookellington.
What is that?
Are you spooked? Because boy, is it spooky month, and I'm ready to get spooked. And this is that was our new friend named Spook Ellington.
Okay, he just says his own name.
He's Duke Ellington, but when he's being spooky, he says Spook Ellington.
Does he just pop in around this time of the year and just yell his name and leave?
Yeah. So
okay. Well, hello, Duke Ellington.
Spook Ellington.
Spook Ellington. Nice to have you on the show.
Yeah, it's good. It's it's always good to have a new guest on the show, isn't it, Daniel?
Especially one that just says his name.
He does nothing else.
Like Steve Holtz. So, yes, it's Spooky Month. Happy Spooky Month, everyone. The best month of the year. It is October, and the next 2 episodes, since we're doing... bi-weekly.
Yeah?
Does it mean both twice a week and every other week?
Oh. No, I've never thought of it as twice a week.
Okay. But it would be, though, right?
I think you would say twice a week.
Okay.
You wouldn't say bi-weekly.
Okay. Well, okay. Since we're doing our episodes bi-weekly now, as in every other week.
Yeah.
Or every 2 weeks, whatever.
I guess we're more on like the paycheck schedule where like it's twice a month.
Yeah, twice a month. Yeah, okay. So you're going to get... Last year we did 4 spooky episodes.
Yeah.
This year you're only getting 2. I'm sorry.
They're twice as good.
They're twice as good except for the Twilight Zone episode because that's the best episode we've ever done.
Best episode ever.
So what is today's episode about, Philip?
Our spookies. The best spookies that you could ever have. And by spookies, we mean the things that scare you.
The scares. So this week's going to be interesting because we've kind of laid a groundwork for what our lists are going to be.
Yeah.
But they could possibly be 2 very different lists. What was the criteria when you were doing yours?
So during mine, I just had my own idea, and then Daniel sent me a text like, "Well, it's good enough." And
okay.
So Daniel said the criteria was fun and creative ways to scare people around this time of year.
Yeah.
Mine are, any time of the year.
I when I started actually like doing mine, they could be, some of them could be any time of the year. I just think they work best at this time of year.
I see.
Most of mine. So this is ways that you can scare your friends.
Yeah.
Basically.
You're welcome.
It's our spooks, our top 10 spooks.
And you could relabel this for your best times to spook or to do an April Fool's Day joke.
Yes. So really this episode can be called whatever you want it to be called. Yeah. But we're just doing it on October 3rd.
That's right.
2020. So I guess we could dive in unless you have anything to share with the audience, Philip.
Never do. You always ask me and I never do.
I want our audience to get to know us a little bit better.
I'd rather them not.
Okay.
They already know us. We only have 50 listeners and they're all our friends.
We have more than that. I want to share that I am just so excited that it's this time of year.
You know what? I do have something I'd like to share.
What?
I'd like to put something to rest.
Okay.
And it's our disgust for one another during this time of year.
Okay.
Because
we're burying the hatchet here.
Yeah, we're burying the hatchet. and I will be the better man.
Okay.
Because I am a better man than you.
Okay, wow. Spoken like a true better man.
I'll say that fall's all right. Fall's all right.
Is it because you're looking at the weather recently and it's been amazing?
I won't say that. I'll just say that.
Look, I'll give you this. This fall is 1,000 times better than last fall.
Okay.
Last fall was like 90 degrees up until like October 20th and then dropped to 30 degrees the next day. So, last fall did kind of suck, but this year actually feels like fall.
I've been enjoying more pumpkin-y things.
Okay.
So that helps.
And you're enjoying more of the spooks.
And I've learned that if I get down on something, like if I'm just sad about it, then I'm just even more sad, and I just don't want to be depressed. So
you're choosing to be happy around this time of year.
So you know what? I'm choosing to bury the hatchet, be the better man. And
Okay.
So, you're welcome.
Yeah. Well, thank you for burying that hatchet that didn't need to be thrown around in the first place.
I would like to say that I treat all seasons equally.
Except for summer, because you love summer.
All seasons equally.
It's like they're like your children.
I guess so.
You say you love them all equally, but we all know that you definitely have a favorite child.
I do have a favorite child.
Yeah. Mine is fall.
Mine is summer.
But quote in quotes, we all love them equally.
Yes. And I will no longer be mad at you when you talk about how good fall is.
Okay, good.
And you will no longer be mad at me when I talk about how good summer is.
I don't hate summertime.
All right. Look, we're already doing so good.
It just gets a little muggy here in Dayton, Ohio, is why it's not my favorite.
And I think that it's a little dreary in fall time.
Do you hey, look out the window? Do you not see these beautiful blue skies and big white clouds?
But sometimes in the fall, hey, Daniel.
I'm sorry.
Daniel.
It's just the residual.
You gave a little dig on summer.
You didn't bury it all the way. I still saw a little edge of the hatchet. Okay, buried.
So I say, it's a little hot in the summer sometimes.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's a little dreary sometimes in the fall.
It can be dreary sometimes.
So, everything has, but you know what? Both are very, very good.
But they're both needed.
Yes.
It's the circle of life.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. So let's move into our spooks.
Yeah. Do you have an honorable mention?
I do have one.
Me too.
Okay.
You first.
Okay. My honorable mention is an honorable mention because I actually didn't come up with it.
Okay.
You actually came up with it.
Okay.
So we recently made a video that's out on our YouTube page called Classic Car Conversations.
Oh.
So if you haven't seen that yet, go check it out. We make videos now.
We do them now.
And you told me a story about how you and Lindsay would leave like voicemails for one another.
Yeah.
And you pretended to get in a car wreck on the voicemail.
Yeah, it was very, very spooky.
Yeah, very spooky. Trying to scare Lindsay a little bit. And I like that. When I was coming up with my list, that like concept kept coming into my mind of like tricking someone into thinking that something very bad happened to you.
I see.
Mainly with a car. I was like a car wreck kept coming to my mind. I was like, well, I can't take that or else Philip technically did one from my list. So it's an honorable mention.
I see. That's very nice. Well, speaking of people that have played tricks on me, that was the other person's fault. Mm-hmm. You convinced my wife to say that her water broke the other day, and that was a little spooky.
Is that your honorable mention?
That's my honorable mention.
Well, our honorable mention is just where it's paying homage. It's paying homage to one another. So okay, yeah, we tricked Philip into thinking that Lindsay's water broke.
Yeah,
because I spilled me and my Butterfingers spilled a bunch of water on her kitchen floor. So we called Philip in, and Lindsay pretended like her water broke. He believed us for maybe a split second.
Yeah, and
then realized that it's still a month away.
Yeah, from
when the baby's supposed to be born. So,
and it's possible, but Lindsay wouldn't be giggling so much.
Yeah, that's true. She was laughing quite a bit. Yeah. So it wasn't as believable as it could have been.
Also, she's like, Philip, come here, which I don't think she would have said. She would have been like, my water broke. And just start running around the house.
Oh man. Okay. Well, then those are our ons.
Our ons.
Who goes first?
You.
I guess
go
me
first.
You're one to save your first one for last, huh?
Is that what it is? You know what? No, I'll go first.
No. It's okay if you want to be last.
Shut up.
Okay.
All right. So here's a classy one because we're classy countdown conversations.
Yeah.
All right. So remember when you were a child? Mm-hmm. You remember that?
I do remember some of it. Yes.
Okay. You remember how scary it is when you think something's underneath the bed?
Yeah.
Okay. So classic. Scary move. Get your spooks on. Mm-hmm. So you're a dad now. Uh-huh. So now, remember how you were a child? Now you're a dad. Okay. And now you convince your child that everything's fine underneath the bed. You're like, nothing down there. You even put a few things underneath the bed so there couldn't be a human person underneath.
Okay.
Yeah, and then one day...
You put like blades down there.
No, one day...
Like ninja stars.
One day you put yourself down there.
Yeah, for sure.
And maybe have like some sort of like glove that masks your hand. Okay. So that they don't know that it's you right away.
Like a werewolf glove maybe?
Yeah, like something scary.
Yeah.
Something real spooky. And then you just like... underneath the bed while the kid's in it. And you just wait, and then they put their foot down and just grab it, and you say, "Spookellington," and that it just came out of nowhere, and that's your spook. Okay. So that's my number 10.
Okay, so you traumatize your child so that they never want to go to bed.
I apologize for the future of Barnabas, my son.
Oh man. Okay. I like it. That's classic, like monsters under the bed,
right?
Monsters in the closet type thing.
Yeah.
Okay. My number 10.
Okay.
It's kind of in the same vein as Spookellington.
Okay.
It's like, you're just kind of talking. You lure someone into a conversation, then you just yell at them really loudly.
I like that.
I probably peaked really hard. I was hoping to scare you a little bit, but
you tried. I was looking down at my phone.
I know.
Yeah, you thought it was going to happen, but I kind of expected it. So you didn't lure me in.
But yeah, so it's kind of like our food punching gag at camps.
I see.
You're like, hey, I need your help. I need to decide something.
Yeah.
And you maybe even like make it sound really serious. Like,
I see. Yeah.
Hey, I just got the sickness. I got the Rona, and my medical bills, they're just too high. And the person's like, "Oh my gosh, do you need help?" You're like, "Yeah, I could really use but you like try to get as close to them as possible.
And then you give them a heart attack, and it gives you a good laugh.
Then you have to end up paying for their medical bills. So yeah, just a jump scare in mid conversation.
I like that.
Is my first spook.
A mid jump, like just right in the middle there.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, I would say my first 3 here are going to be pretty classic.
Okay.
I'm in the midst of moving my list around to make sure that it's like in order. I didn't really do that before this episode because I just don't care. And so that's not true. I do care. I care about
my list. Increasingly gets more elaborate.
Okay, mine's sort of like that.
That's kind of how mine is laid out.
Yeah.
So obviously, a jump scare mid conversation takes no prior thinking.
That's true. Yeah. It just happens.
So that's like bottom level of like no forethought.
Okay.
My last one is lots of forethought. So we're going to be making our way up that.
Okay. All right.
Ladder. What's your number 9?
So very, very similar to yours. Well, let's see. I've got a few ones that are pretty similar.
Okay.
In some respects.
It's the same thing 3 times in a row.
It's literally just the same 3 words. No. So let's do this one.
Okay.
And this one, I feel like it's good when you've got like an adult around with you in your house. It's just the 2 of you.
Are you an adult also?
I am an adult also.
And you have another adult with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know how to turn the breaker off. of the electricity.
Okay.
So, there's like a bunch of different breakers, and then there's the main breaker.
Yeah.
And nobody thinks to check the main breaker. You know what I mean? You just go for that.
You go for the little ones.
Yeah, you're like, oh, all of these are fine.
Yeah.
So the secret is to
go for that big boy.
So wait for a nasty stormy night.
Okay. Yeah. Big old thunder clouds, big lightning strikes.
Yeah, and it's full moon. Well, no, actually,
dude, the moon. Real quick, I'm sorry to interrupt. But the moons the last couple of nights have been awesome. It's like the perfect way to start off October. They've been like almost full moons.
Yeah, last night was pretty
epic. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. So big stormy night.
Way to ruin the mood, Daniel. Sorry. Big stormy night. Actually, not a full moon. The opposite, because it's got to be real dark.
Okay.
So you can't see the moon at all. Maybe there's just
lots
so much
of smog.
Storm. Yeah. And you turn that main breaker off. You tell your person that's in the house with you. You're like, oh, let me go get a drink. And you turn that main breaker off for a moment, and you start like just walking around the house. Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh. And you wait for them to come out. And then you wait for them to get to the breaker room because, like, well, the lights aren't turning on. And then they can't figure it out. And then they turn around and you're like, Duke Ellington! And you scare them real good. So that's...
Is Spook Skellington gonna show up at every single one of your
maybe. I did just say Duke Ellington. So
Duke Ellington.
So who knows who will pop up. But somebody named Ellington for sure.
Okay, all right.
So that's mine. That's a good spook.
Okay, yeah, no, I like it.
So
that's kind of, I mean, like, you do kind of have to like be cautious with this one of like not running into them before the payoff.
That's true. You kind of maybe need some like night vision goggles.
Yes. It's got to be like dark.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like no moon.
The only wild card is the lightning.
That's true.
You don't know when it's going to strike.
But think about how scary that is that somebody's like just like right next to you and with the lightning.
That's true. I guess you could be walking behind them.
Yeah. You try to get as close, but the rain's so loud they can't hear you.
Yep.
Until you start yelling. Hopefully what happens is they turn around, lightning strikes, and you say Spook Ellington.
And you have weird goggles on. Okay, I like it.
All right.
My number 9.
Okay.
And this one's kind of not necessarily around this time of year. You can do this at any time.
Okay.
You go up to someone that you know has allergies.
Oh, like me.
Like you. No, like food allergies.
Okay.
Or someone that's like a vegetarian.
Okay.
Or something. And you wait till they're eating something.
Okay.
Let's say someone's deathly allergic to nuts.
Okay.
And you wait till they're eating a cookie.
Okay.
And you go,
oh no.
It has a bunch of peanut butter in it.
Oh.
And then you spook them that way.
I see.
or like if it's a vegan.
No, it's like, oh, there's dead animals in there.
Yeah, well they're like I'm eating this veggie burger that I found in your freezer. This is their voice. I found this veggie burger in your freezer. It said it was marked veggie burger, and I say, oh, actually, that's an old container. That's not an actual regular burger. And that scares them because they're vegan.
That's pretty good.
I like the allergies one more though.
I like the allergies one because the vegan one, like they just like maybe they throw.
It's a choice.
Yeah.
With the allergies one, like because there's some people that like you can't even touch something that a nut has touched. That's the one where it's like they're drinking a smoothie.
Oh.
And you're like, who made that for you? And they're like, oh, your I don't know, your grandma did. And I'm like, my grandma puts loads of peanut butter in her shakes.
All she uses is peanut oil.
Oh yeah, it's only peanut butter. and then see like the drop on their face. Yeah. And then just be like, just kidding.
Yeah.
And then hopefully they don't have a heart attack.
Yeah, hopefully. A lot of yours have, like, actually all these probably going to give somebody a heart attack.
Probably. So, that's mine.
Daniel's Thought Corner, Daniel's Thought Corner, Daniel's Thought Corner, Daniel's Thought Corner.
Okay. So I was.
That was such a beautiful transition.
The okay.
No, that we just went. We just finished yours and went right into it.
I magically appeared in my hands as Banjo did.
It was crazy.
It was really weird. It was almost like I don't know.
It was almost like there was editing.
It was almost like there was editing. I was gonna say it's almost like there was witchcraft.
Oh, that's a little spookier.
Because it was a spooky joke, but yeah, there was editing. But let's just tell the truth. There was a big old edit right there.
And that's spooky in and of itself. What did we say in there? You don't even know.
You don't know. Not much, actually. So I was listening to a couple of our fall episodes from last year.
Yeah.
Because what day was Thursday was October 1st, and I was just I just wanted to get in the mood for Halloween season. And so I listened to our fall activities.
So you were like, I need to listen to myself.
I need to listen to myself hyping me up because I'm the best person at doing that. So I listened to our fall activities episode and our Halloween movies episode, and I was listening to fall activities, and I was like, so this is kind of a mix between Daniel's Thought Corner and Daniel's oopsies.
Oh,
because I forgot something.
What did you forget?
In the fall activities. So originally my list started out, my number 10 was running over leaf piles on the side of the road.
And killing children.
That's going to be an honorable mention.
Good.
I'm bumping that up. So that's with raking leaves.
Okay.
And also with apple picking, because I've never done it, but other people have. And they say they like it. So those are my 3 honorable mentions for that list. And the thing I'm putting in, and actually I'd probably put this at like 7. So it just bumps things up a little bit.
Okay. All right.
And that's just like, just driving, just going, and I know I'm going to sound like a white girl, but getting that pumpkin spice latte.
Oh, the PSL.
The PSL, because I love pumpkin flavored things. I just do. Call me a white girl. I don't give a rip.
You're a white girl. You're a white girl.
So get my pumpkin spice and listen to some spooky Halloween music and drive with the window down.
I see.
It's just so great. I've been doing it the last couple days. Boy.
Boise.
Boise, is it good? So that goes there.
Okay.
So that's my thought corner.
All right.
You know what? This is the most uncontroversial Daniel's thought corner there is so far.
Probably.
Because no one's like, oh, that's not true. That's not on your list of favorite fall activities. It is, and you can't tell me otherwise. So there you go.
All right. Daniel's Thought Corner. Daniel's Thought Corner. Daniel's Thought Corner. Daniel's Thought Corner.
I like that little. It was more kind of.
I don't know what that
interpretive
was.
Yeah.
It just kind of became its own thing. Well,
okay.
I think it's your turn.
Is it? Okay.
I think.
No, it's yours.
It's my turn for
bumhole.
Number. What did you call me?
I called you a bumhole.
Excuse you?
It's yours. You're number 8.
That's like my calling me chicken. You called me chicken?
Oh, from Back to the Future.
Yeah, but you call me bunghole?
I called you bumhole.
My number 8 is. This is also very, very classic. All right.
Okay.
All right. Don't judge, Daniel. I see it in your eyes.
I'm not. I want to hear yours.
Okay. So I used to do this quite a bit when I was younger.
Oh no. All right.
So you just wait for everyone to leave the house, and you're like, you know what? I'm not gonna go with you guys. I'm just gonna stay home.
Okay.
You know, like they're like, oh, we're going to the grocery store.
Yeah.
You're like, nah.
We're going Disney World.
Yeah, well, yeah. If you really committed to this, you can do that. But in the back of your head, you're like,
okay, yeah. You got your little evil laugh going.
Like, can't wait to
you're like doing this thing with
you
your
move
hands.
your hands back and forth. You do the little like they're like touching the fingertips back around. Yeah. So you got a mastermind.
Like a spider on a mirror.
Yeah, there you go. Weird. That's the grossest way you could put it. And then you you wait for them to come home, and you got to know when they're coming home.
For sure.
Like, hopefully they've got a garage so you can hear the garage door open, and you're like, all right, time to skedaddle, and you run to the nearest closet.
Okay.
And you wait for them to come in, and they're like expecting you to be like, hey, but they don't hear it. And then they start calling your name. And they're like, hey, Philip, where are you, Philip? We love you so much. Where'd you go?
Yeah.
And then right then you're like, it's Spook Ellington. And you get them good, and you jump out of the closet and scare them half to death.
Okay.
Heart attack number 4.
What? And to add to that, you should stage a break-in.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So it looks like you got kidnapped.
One thing that we used to do a lot, me and my sister, was we put our clothes on the ground and be like, oh, I guess the rapture happened and you missed it. So that's pretty spooky too.
That's that's number 1 spooky. Missing the rapture. Okay. I like it. Just classic hiding in the closet.
Classic hiding in the closet.
Staging a break-in.
Maybe staging a break-in.
Kidding.
Yeah, if you want to get a little more elaborate,
that's
sure.
like the extended edition.
Yeah. Yeah, when you're a little older.
Yeah. Yeah, when you like know what a break-in would actually be like.
Yeah.
Because when you're younger, you're like, oh, the window's open.
Yeah.
But in reality, the window's probably smashed. So this is going to become an expensive prank. An expensive spook.
There you go.
But again, that's the extended edition, so you don't have to do that.
Director's cut. The X-rated version of the spook.
Or there's like broken glass and fake blood everywhere.
Yeah. I guess not X-rated. That would infer something else. I mean, non-rated.
R-rated or non-rated.
Yeah.
Or NC-17.
There you go.
Okay. My number 8 is this is what it's titled. I'm gonna say the title of this one, and I'm gonna have you try to guess it.
Okay.
Forget something.
Forget something. That would be someone is looking for something, like their keys.
Nope. No.
Okay.
This is and I'll start with the extreme thing, or at least the most extreme thing I can think of.
Okay.
Is like, so we go to Canada every year, right?
Oh, and you forget something, and then you actually really had it.
Yeah, so like it's a 4 to 6 hour drive to the border from where we're at.
Yeah.
Imagine so you're going, and you're about 5 minutes from the border, and you say, "Crap, I forgot my passport."
Yeah.
And the person goes, their heart just sinks.
Yeah.
And they're like, the last 4 to 6 hours was for nothing.
Yeah.
And then you say, but you got to have it like right at your left side, because then you hold it and you're like, gotcha.
Gotcha, good.
You say, what's your thing? Spook Ellington.
Spook Ellington.
Yeah. Just a little nod to Halloween, even if it's like summertime.
Yeah.
But you could do this with anything. If you're like going to like a football game, like Ohio State football game.
Like, I forgot the tickets.
Yeah, I forgot the tickets.
Ugh.
Or like if you are going to like a wedding that's an hour away, I forgot the present. I forgot the gift.
I think what's even here's
or I forgot to wear pants.
Oh man, here's the extended version.
Okay,
ready?
Yep.
You say, oh man, I forgot my passport. You're at the border. They turn around. They go all the way back to it. And then once you're there, you're like, just kidding, I had it in my pocket the whole time. Time to go back.
This is like right after you win the lottery, so money means nothing to you, and you can just pay for gas willy-nilly. Yes, that would be very good. Very good prank. And like, I love road trips, so I wouldn't mind.
There you go. Maybe I'll do that next time we all go to Canada.
Well, maybe not.
Because you just said you didn't care.
Yeah, but also like I just kind of want to get there, like that specific trip. It's I want to be there.
I see.
But yeah, so this is just like kind of in the same vein as like the allergies thing. You just got to let them hang there for like a few seconds, and then you say, "Just kidding."
I see.
It's a quick. It's almost like you get whiplash and you're concussed by like how fast of a spook it is.
My next spook, my number 7,
yes,
is similar to your allergies.
Okay.
And it's actually, this is really maybe just how to scare me.
Okay. All right. I avoided those so that
you.
people can't just come up and scare me.
Yeah. Well, I have two that are very specific to me.
Okay. All right.
First one is number 7 here, and that would be to laugh while you're eating and to pretend that you start choking. And then I'm like, I literally will probably faint because I'm so scared for your life, but don't know how to do whatever it is that you need to do.
Maneuver.
Yeah, and my wife's been pregnant, and so like I just don't. I'm like, well, I don't really know exactly how you do it. And,
when
on top of that, there's a baby in there. Who knows what's gonna happen? Oh, it scares me so bad.
Okay.
So you could just like, it especially works for like bad jokes. So you're like, somebody says a bad joke, and you're like eating, and so you start laughing like really hard, even though it's not that good of a joke. And then you start choking, and they're like, Skellington, just in the nick of time when they're about to start giving you the Heimlich. So
I love the Spookellington thing. Okay. I like it.
Good.
My number 7.
Yeah.
Do you have like little titles for yours?
I don't.
Okay.
I have stories.
Okay. All right. This one's called Pumpkin Escalation.
Okay.
So this one is specifically for October.
Okay, good.
So for 31 days, you pick someone that you want to spook, and you get them a pumpkin every day.
Oh.
But you start out with like maybe like one of those little candy pumpkins.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you go to like a paper mache little pumpkin.
Okay.
On October 2nd, and then October 3rd, you get like a small actual pumpkin, and you just escalate it for 30 days.
Okay.
And then on the 31st of October, you just have a giant, like, I don't know if you could find an actual pumpkin this big.
Okay.
But just a ginormous pumpkin, maybe the size of like a car.
Okay. Wow.
It could be fake. It could be like ceramic.
We're talking about like Cinderella-esque pumpkin.
Yes. Yeah. Like the thing that turns into the carriage, like that size. And you just place it right outside their door, their house.
Okay.
So that when they wake up, they're like, oh my gosh,
a big old pumpkin.
They went all the way out. But what they don't know is you've set it with explosives.
Oh my gosh.
It doesn't have to be a lot of explosives.
Okay. Like a firework?
Fireworks, maybe some tannerite.
Okay.
Or maybe just a bit of TNT.
Okay. Just enough to scare them.
Just enough to scare them and blow the bits of pumpkin all over them.
Gross. I thought you were going to be inside.
Well, that's an alternative.
Okay.
If you don't want to spend money on explosives, or if you don't want to put someone's life in danger, then you couldn't just be inside.
I see.
And what you could do is like, go ahead and if it's an actual pumpkin, go ahead and gut it.
Oh,
gut that bad boy.
Okay.
But don't draw a face at all.
Yeah, it's empty.
It's complete.
Sorry, not empty.
It's empty on the inside, but the outside, other than the way that you got in,
you can't tell.
Yeah, you can't tell. But then you put that part back in, and you have someone else on the outside, like make it look like it hasn't been cut open yet.
I see. Well, you could do it at the bottom, and then you get in through the bottom.
Yes, good idea. And then when they go in to cut it, they cut the first eye out for the jack-o'-lantern.
I see. And
your face is just right there.
That gave me chills.
Okay, all right. Let's say that instead of the explosives.
Explosives.
Can we cut that?
Nah.
Can we cut out the explosives part?
I don't know.
All right. I guess we'll see once this episode drops. So that's mine. The pumpkin escalation. Prank.
I do like. Now I get that title.
Yes.
Okay. This one's good if my number 6 is good if you're like a real weirdo of a neighbor. Okay. So let's say you haven't gotten married, you're like 43 years old, and like you're pretty reclusive, and you've got a neighborhood full of children. Okay. And like they're all it's let's say Halloween Eve.
Okay.
October 30th. It's always like the day that you want Halloween to be it's always never not that day.
Yeah, it's always raining on Halloween.
So it's like the day before, and it's like beautiful and dark night. It's full moon, but Halloween's gonna suck. But the day before is great, and they're all playing outside. These children.
Yeah.
maybe their city is doing
trick or
treat,
yeah.
you know, and they're all hanging out in the backyard, and you know they've got little woods.
Mm-hmm. Just a little bit.
And you're like, you know what would be fun is to scare these little chicklins,
these little brats.
Yeah, and so you just run into their yard with a fake knife and maybe a mask. It depends. So if you're a really freaky guy and like still like single, but you just haven't taken care of yourself,
yeah,
you can probably just run after him.
Okay, okay.
And just start chasing.
If you're like kind of schlubby,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. But if you're like okay looking, you probably need to put a mask on to at least scare him a little bit.
Yeah, right.
And so that you just chase him and you're like Spook Ellington, and I think it would be pretty freaky to just have that guy chasing you for like maybe 30 minutes, and then all of a sudden he just stops and goes back into his house. So
what if their parents come out with firearms?
So that is another thing. You got to make sure you're in a neighborhood that's like, you know, not cool with guns or something. I don't know.
Or you got to find a neighborhood where like all the parents attend a annual Halloween party.
That's right, and they know what you're going to do that night.
There you go. Yeah. You've told them.
Yeah.
Because even though you live by yourself, you shovel their snow.
Right. Yeah. You're like the old man in that Christmas movie
and Home Alone.
Home Alone.
Yes. Yeah. You've built up recognition amongst the families.
And actually, you're only creepy to the kids.
Yes. Like, yeah. Everyone else is like, that's just a regular guy.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's essentially what Home Alone is. He's like, that guy's scary.
Yeah.
But he's just a regular man.
Just a regular old man.
Yeah. Okay. I like it.
Who has a very sad story.
Yeah.
Why did they throw that in there?
Well, but it ends happy, though.
Yeah, but
his son comes back.
What was the point of that little side story?
To give a false sense of emotion in the
movie. It worked.
It worked. Oh yeah, it makes me bawl my eyes out. Okay, I like that you're chasing them for 30 minutes, and that you're only saying Spookellington. And that probably after the first 30 seconds they would stop being scared, but you still do it for another 30 minutes.
And also they might think you're saying like spaghetti weird.
Like, why are you chasing us around asking us for spaghetti?
Also, I need to share a little story.
Yeah.
So our neighbors.
Why didn't you do this at the beginning when I asked you if you had anything to share?
Shush your mouth about this particular spook. So my neighbors growing up would do like a Halloween like walkthrough in order to get candy in their house.
Okay.
So like straight up like it was like a haunted house.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
And one of the years the guy like had a mask on, whatever. It was like the what is that guy? A werewolf.
Okay.
He had a werewolf thing, and he chased the children out of the house in his werewolf mask. Like if he knew the kids, he would chase them for a long time.
That's amazing.
So that's
like down the street.
Yes,
that's amazing.
So that's kind of where this idea came from.
Okay, I like it.
But he wasn't a weird man, and I also never went over there. I was too scared.
I would have. That's literally going to be me in like 5 years. Okay. My number 6 is similar to your closet one.
Okay.
The title of this one is Hide Somewhere for Hours.
Okay. There you go.
And I did this before.
Oh.
And when Lindsay was in high school, her and her friends would watch horror movies.
Oh, yeah.
And we have this chair with like an ottoman. It's like a bigger chair.
Yeah.
Up in our family room, and it's like at an angle. So there's like a little cubby hole behind it.
Oh,
it's like
right
in the corner.
Yes. Did you hide back there?
I hid back there for half of Friday the 13th.
Oh man.
And then like I went off of like what they were doing. Like they were like, "Don't go in there." Or whatever. I don't remember what they were saying, but they were like talking the movie, and obviously it was a scary part.
Right.
Like they were about ready to get scared. So I just climbed out of that and climbed out, and they're like, "Oh my gosh." So just like, you got to know someone's plans If it's like you're like a sibling of yours or like a friend of yours, and you know that they're like they're going on a spooky date. They're gonna watch a spooky movie.
That's perfect.
Then like, or if it's like your roommate, I feel like that's the perfect one is a roommate. Then hide somewhere in the living room. Maybe even combine your bed thing. Hide under the couch.
That's good. Grab their feet.
Yeah, grab their ankles.
Yeah, oof.
Right when like you can tell your roommate's girlfriend's getting scared.
Oh.
Or boyfriend.
Who knows?
Who knows what gender any of these people are? And then you grab, right? They're like, "Oh my gosh!" Then you like grab, and then it's just like a blood curdling scream.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. So, but you gotta like, you have to hide for a long enough time to where they're not even thinking about it. Like it's like
there's definitely no one.
We're sitting here for an hour and a half. If someone were to have jumped out, if they were suspicious in any way, if someone were to have jumped out, they would have done it by now.
Right.
And then, an hour and a half in, you grab their leg and scare them. So
I think you got to figure out who's the best person to scare. Because, so Lindsay's a great person to scare because she gets very, very scared. 2, she starts laughing. And so you don't feel bad about doing it. There's some people that, you scare them. They get scared.
Then they start like crying.
Or they're just they're too cool for school now. Like they're trying to save face and whatever, you got scared.
Yeah, right.
It's all right to be scared. That's supposed to happen.
Yeah, so, that was the whole point.
Yeah.
You didn't scare me.
Yeah, shut up.
Yeah. or it just like they get in a bad mood and just puts a damper on the rest of the night. Yeah.
That person's me.
Well, I won't be scaring you then. No, yeah, it definitely you got to find the right people to do these things too.
That's right.
Okay, what's your number 5?
My number 5. This one's also a little more personal.
Okay,
but I've grown out of it, thankfully.
Okay.
Step 1: watch Star Wars Episode 1.
And Phantom Menace.
The Phantom Menace.
Okay.
The Episode 1, and
that is scary.
That part already scary.
Sitting through that movie is terrifying.
Yeah. And then, all right, go to, maybe you do this before you watch. So step 0.
Okay.
Be the person that you're ready to spend some money and get a whole Darth Maul outfit. And lightsaber.
Okay.
That's very convincing.
Okay.
So, and then watch Star Wars Episode 1 with someone that's likely to get scared, but also to laugh afterwards.
Probably a little child.
A little child, maybe. Yes.
Okay.
All right. And then wait for them to go to bed. Make sure their windows are open. Not necessarily like the window actually open, but like you can see through it.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe they like waking up to the sun. Who knows?
Yeah.
And then just slowly start moving your head up outside. You're outside and you start just moving your head up and you're Darth Maul. And you just appear in the window and you're just staring there at them and wait for them to see you. And then, you know what happens. So it would be through the window. It's like, Spookalation.
Kind of muffled.
Kind of muffled. So that scared me a lot. I was always...
Did someone do this to you?
I was just very concerned that Darth Maul was going to be out in the window.
Okay. Sorry, I understand.
I don't know why that was there.
Well, what you need to do, and this, especially if the person's on the second floor...
Yes.
Be on a ladder.
Yes.
And have someone else out there with a flashlight.
There you go.
And they're shining up right underneath your face.
Very scary.
Because then that lighting's kind of just scary in general.
Well, but you've got the lightsaber lighting your face too.
Okay, or that. But you can't wait till the sun comes up because it's not scary at that point.
No, I'm not saying that.
You said.
I was saying that's why they have the window open. Daniel.
Oh, I see. Okay. So yeah, you got to do it in dead of night.
Yeah, oh yeah.
What you need to do is I guess you could just tap.
You can start tapping. Just to wake them up a little bit.
Or text them so that their ding wakes them up.
Oh.
And they're they're kind of disoriented and then start tapping.
There you go.
And then they're like, what? Then they have a heart attack in their bed.
Heart attack. So that's mine.
That's a very specific, I like that it's not if you watch a horror movie dress up as that villain, it's specifically Darth Maul. The hardest part of this one is convincing someone to watch Phantom Menace with them.
I do think that I also had this very similar fear of after 9/11 that the terrorists were going to come through the window. I don't know how that happened.
I had a dream one time. It was a very bad nightmare.
Yeah.
Where I was in my living room, and my living room looks out right to our driveway.
Right.
And our driveway's really like long. And there was an army of Michael Jacksons
really
raiding my house. Yeah.
Wow.
It was terrifying.
That is scary.
It was like white Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Like when his skin turned white.
Yeah. However that happened.
Oops. How that happened, I don't know.
See, something.
I don't know.
I think it's a mystery that no one will ever know.
That's true. It's interesting that, like, but that's how I feel like most people remember Michael Jackson, is white Michael Jackson. I could be wrong, but that's how I remember him.
I think of him as the 80s Michael Jackson with the mullet kind of looking thing.
Okay. Oh, that's true. That's true. Okay. Anyways. Spooky times. Whoops.
Oh no!
I think I hit my thing every time.
I think I hit it too, but then I just blame you when I'm editing. I'm like, that was Daniel.
Okay, that was your number 5.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 5. The next 5 are gonna take a little bit of planning.
Okay.
And precision.
Okay.
This one's called Bluetooth speakers.
Okay.
So what you got to do is this is like a weekend thing.
Okay.
So you got to say to a friend of yours, "Hey, my house is flooding, or my house is getting fumigated, or my house is on fire," something like that.
Okay. My house is currently on fire.
It's on fire as we speak. I need a place to crash. So, or if you're in high school or younger, you can just go over and spend the night at your friend's house. Okay. But that doesn't really happen once you're an adult.
Yeah.
There's got to be a reason.
Yeah.
So you're like, hey, I have to crash for a night. So you're there. You probably stay up a little bit, watch some TV,
all right.
chit chat a bit, chitty chat, and then you say, "Oh man, I'm getting tired," because you're sleeping on the couch. You're like, I should probably go to bed. And he's like, okay, yeah, me too. So you lay down on the couch and you wait till he goes into his room.
Yeah.
And you hear the door shut, and maybe the light goes. And then, okay, good. He's in bed. Then you pull out your big sack that you've had next to you the whole time that they haven't been curious about.
Okay.
And you pull out these Bluetooth speakers, like 4 or 5 of them.
Okay.
You make sure that your phone has connected to them.
Okay.
And you hide them around the house.
Okay.
And then the next morning, you're like, "Thanks for letting me stay the night. See ya." You go home, and then that next night, it's Halloween now.
Oh.
That next night, after they've either watched a scary movie or gone out to a spooky party, then you wait till they get home, and then you connect
to all of them, or just one?
All of them.
Okay.
You connect to it, or maybe just one. Maybe, I don't know if this is possible, but can you switch to different ones? Like if he's in one room, then you're using that one.
You could certainly make something like that happen.
Okay, yeah. So that's what you do, and you have pre-recorded just either breathing or just little scary sounds. Little sounds.
I see.
Or children singing.
Oh yeah. Why is that so scary?
I don't know.
I think we've trained ourselves.
Something like that. But you have them just so slightly up volume wise,
I see.
Not
just
very
enough
loud
that if they weren't listening for it, they don't hear it. But
yes.
if they catch it,
and you kind of just give them paranoia.
I see.
And then as you're looking through the window because you're stalking them.
Yeah.
As they start getting really scared, then you start banging on the window.
Oh, that's good.
Maybe at the kitchen. For some reason, the kitchen at night is always creepy because there's usually a window right above the sink,
and almost never has a curtain.
Yeah. So wait till they put one by the sink. Wait till they go over there and they pick up the speaker. What is this? Yeah. And then just start banging as hard as you can.
I like that.
So that's a
good one.
Thank you.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that one and the next 4 are very you gotta plan it out.
I see. This is my next specific way to scare me. Number 4.
Okay.
So Lindsay's always telling me babe, you gotta remember to lock the doors at night. Mm-hmm. I'm like, whatever. Nobody's gonna come in here. but I still do it. But I always forget. I would forget pretty often.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but I just always forget. So Lindsay could very easily scare me if she just like, probably it was conniving and texted you and said, hey, you got to be on call for when Philip forgets to lock the doors again.
Okay.
And come in with a bat and like just like spook out and just like come through the door that I forgot to lock. And I think that would be probably 100% the scariest day of my life.
Okay.
And I don't we don't have any guns or anything here.
Yeah.
And so like I don't know what I would do. I have a bat that I'm like. So the good thing for you is you won't die. You may get hit. I don't know.
The vase.
Yeah. So
the head.
I do, but that would be pretty scary.
Yeah.
Doesn't require too much effort.
No,
on
not
Lindsay's
really.
Part.
Yeah.
Maybe yours.
I mean, just getting a bat.
Yeah.
And maybe a way to cover my face.
Yeah.
Which I do have I have a few creepy Halloween masks.
You could wear that like skin colored thing. The skin colored like face thing that you're going to use for
a video. Yes.
That would be pretty scary. If
the faceless face.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be scary. Oh yeah, I'd be terrible. Like, what the heck? Especially if like, what if it's you, but you're in sleepwalk mode?
Ugh, you wouldn't want to live.
You'd be like, what is that? Get out of here. You probably just come swinging.
I probably would literally tackle you. So that's the last thing that you'll hear about how to scare me.
Okay, all right. That's the last personal one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm actually gonna take these a little bit out of order. I'm gonna do this one next.
Okay.
This one's one of my personal favorites.
Okay.
Because the spook never ends.
Oh.
And this one is secretly or subconsciously convince someone you're a serial killer.
Okay.
So like, especially around this time, maybe wait till like a story breaks about like
a murderer somewhere.
Yeah. Like
okay.
They've killed two.
Like the Scranton.
Yeah, the Scranton Strangler.
Yeah.
They've strangled two Old Navy employees, and your friend works for Old Navy.
Oh.
Or whatever, something. Or maybe even make up like a fake news story.
There you go.
And you connect it to your Bluetooth in the car. You're driving with them in the car, and it's like an escaped. Or no, you say like, two people have been murdered that work at Dairy Queen.
You're like, hey, did you hear about this story? And then you start playing.
Yes, yeah. This might even be like months of preparing, but like you create a bunch of fake accounts, you make a bunch of fake articles.
There you go.
So that way, if they go look it up, it's real.
You start a fake news site.
Yes, yeah, a whole site with like subsites and like little, hyperlinks that go over to this thing, all this stuff. And then, so you kind of bring it up casually and you're talking about it. And then like 2 days later, another person gets murdered.
Yeah.
And then your friend's like, I'm really scared. Target employees keep getting offed and it's in this area and I work at Target. And you're like, and you kind of like, you kind of agree with them, but you kind of give them like a little bit of like, it's not that,
Yeah.
I kind of agree with what they're doing. not that blatantly,
but like those people don't really matter anyway.
Yeah. Target employees. And then like you kind of leave clues behind. Like in your car, you have like a little news clipping of like that.
Bloody sweatshirt.
Bloody sweatshirt. A knife cleaning kit. Is in your trash can. You're like, hey, can you take this out to the trash for me?
Oh, good. Okay.
They open it up and they see that there's like maybe a couple blades in there and some like cleaning utensils. So you do this for about, I don't know, 3 weeks, like very heavily.
Yeah.
And then it ends.
Oh.
And you never bring it back up
again. Oh man. So like they just have the idea.
It's always in the back of their mind. What if this person's a serial killer?
And then they call the police on you, and then the police are like, well, those murders never happened, and then you actually never show up again. So that
you moved to Fiji, and that was the spook. You pay off all the people in your life that knew this person to never bring you up again.
Yeah.
So they just think that they went crazy. They like show pictures. Look, he's right here, and be like, there's only one person in that picture, and it's you. Yeah. That's the extended edition of this prank.
Sorry, I keep extending your
No, it's okay.
I like the simple. It's not very simple, but I like the constancy.
Yeah, I like the open-endedness of it. It's like, well, you just never bring it up again.
Never bring it up.
Maybe like once every Halloween season. It's like, did you hear another Target person got murdered? And then they just kind of like, you're in the car and they're just like staring at you, and you kind of have like a little smirk on your face, but just so subtly. So that's my number 4.
My number 3 then, huh?
Yeah.
Well, this one's a little interesting.
Okay.
And it's a long one. It's a long con as well.
Okay. All right.
But it's really just to scare yourself.
Okay.
So there's a subreddit called No Sleep, and you just read that, and then you try to fall asleep. So here's an example.
Okay. It's kind of like creepypastas.
Very similar to creepypasta.
Okay.
So here we go. Ready?
Yeah. You trying to do it to me right now?
I'm trying to do it to you right now. About 5 years ago, I lived downtown in a major city in the U.S. I've always been a night person. Let's do this like he's a cop from New York.
Okay, like a noir type thing? Okay.
I've always been a night person, so I would often find myself bored after my roommate, who was decidedly not a night person, went to sleep. To pass the time, I used to go for long walks and spend the time thinking. I spent 4 years like that, walking alone at night, and never once had a reason to feel afraid. I always used to joke with my roommates that even the drug dealers in the city were polite. But all of that changed in just a few minutes of one evening. It was a Wednesday, somewhere between 1 and 2 in the morning, and I was always walking near a police patrolled park, quite a ways from my apartment. It was a quiet night, even for a weeknight, and very little traffic, and almost no one on foot. The park, as it was most nights, was completely empty. I turned for a short side street. Nope. I turned down a short... Dang it. I turned down a short side street in order to loop back to my apartment when I first noticed him. This is hard to keep going.
It's okay, keep going.
At the far end of the street on my side was the silhouette of a man dancing. It was a strange dance, similar to a waltz, but he danced each box with an odd forward stride.
Ew.
I guess you could say he was dance walking, headed straight for me. Deciding he was probably drunk, I stepped as close as I could to the road to give him the majority of the sidewalk to pass me by. The closer he got, the more I realized how gracefully he was moving. He was very tall and lanky and wearing an old suit. He danced closer still, until I could make out his face. His eyes were wide open, wide and wild. Head tilted back slightly, looking off at the sky. His mouth was formed in a painfully wide cartoon of a smile. Between the eyes and the smile, I decided to cross the street before he danced any closer. I took my eyes off of him to cross this empty street. As I reached the other side, I glanced back and then stopped dead in my tracks. He had stopped dancing and was standing with one foot in the street, perfectly parallel to me. He was facing me, but still looked skyward, smile still wide on his lips. I was completely and utterly unnerved by this. I started walking again, but kept my eyes on the man. He didn't move. Once I put about half a block between us, I turned away from him for a moment to watch the sidewalk in front of me. The street and sidewalk ahead of me were completely empty. Still unnerved, I looked back where he had been standing to find him gone. For the briefest of moments, I felt relieved until I noticed him. He had crossed the street and was now slightly crouched down. I couldn't tell for sure due to the distance and the shadows, but I was certain he was facing me. I looked away for him for no more than 10 seconds, so it was clear he had moved fast. It's a longer story than I thought. I was so shocked that I stood there for some time staring at him, and then he started moving toward me again. He looked giant, exaggerated tiptoe steps, as if he were a cartoon character sneaking up on someone, except he was moving very, very quickly. I'd like to say at this point I ran away or pulled out my pepper spray or cell phone or anything at all, but I didn't. I stood there completely frozen as the smiling man crept towards me. And then he stopped again, about a car length away from me, still smiling his smile, still looking up to the sky. When I finally found my voice, I blurted out the first thing that came to mind. What I meant to ask was, "What the heck do you want?" in an angry, commanding tone. But what came out was a whisper of, "What the heck?" Whether or not humans can smell fear, they certainly can hear it. I heard it in my own voice, and that only made me more afraid. But he didn't react to it at all. He just stood there, smiling. And then after what felt like forever, he turned away. He turned around, actually.
Was even the word you're trying to say.
Very slowly, and started dance walking away. Just like that. Not turning my back to him again. I watched him go until he was far enough away to almost be out of sight. And then I realized something. He wasn't moving away anymore, nor was he dancing. I watched in horror as the distant shape of him grew larger and larger. He was coming back my way, and this time he was running. I ran too. I ran until I was far off the side road and back into a better lit road in sparse traffic. Looking behind me then, he was nowhere to be found. The rest of the way home, I kept glancing over my shoulder, always expecting to see his stupid smile, but he was never there. I lived in that city for 6 months after that night, and I never went out for another walk. There was something about his face that always haunted me. He didn't look drunk. He didn't look high. He looks completely and utterly insane. And that is a very scary thing to see.
Wow. Did you write that?
I write that every night.
That is kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
If that actually happened. So that's your spook?
That's a spook.
Just that story?
Well, it's just any of those stories that's on there.
Okay.
Now try to fall asleep in the middle of the night.
Yeah. Well, speaking of scary stories,
okay,
my next one also has a scary story in it.
Okay.
I don't know the exact scary story. I don't have it like written down or anything. But basically, the idea of this came from the Graveyard Shift episode of SpongeBob.
Oh, that was mentioned in our last year's episodes.
Where Squidward is telling SpongeBob a ghost story, and then it all starts coming true. So you have to get a whole group of friends in on this one.
I see.
And to scare maybe the annoying person in the group, or just like the person that'll get most scared.
Everyone's got this annoying one.
Yeah, and if you don't know who it is, then it's you.
Yeah.
So go out, have a bonfire in October. This is near Halloween as well.
Okay.
Have a bonfire and be telling stories, just having a good time.
Yeah.
Then you tell a story about, and you're like, okay, one night, a couple people were driving down a dark road in the woods, all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then they realized that someone was following them. So like they start going faster. Oh no, the car starts, having troubles.
Okay.
You break down.
Okay.
Like you've lost the person that's following you, but then you break down.
Okay. All right.
So then, and the nearest gas station is however far away.
I see.
So you have to like get out and walk. They had to get out, walk the woods to the gas station, and then the car that was following them caught back up to them. Those people get out, start chasing you. So something like that. So you tell that story and you finish it, whatever. Let like 15 minutes go by, and then maybe like your marshmallows run out or something.
Yeah.
And you have a different, not the person that told the story, but you have a different friend say, hey, let's go out and get more supplies.
I see.
So that it's not like you're saying it.
Right.
It's less suspicious that way.
I see.
And you're like, okay, there's 5 of us, whatever. We can all fit in a car. Well, you're like, well, whose car would be best to drive? And you have a person there that car is kind of unreliable.
I see.
And it's known to be, and it's like, well, we can all fit in my car, so let's go in there.
I see.
So you have your group of 5, but then you have like 2 or 3 other friends that didn't come to the bonfire, but they're waiting for a certain spot back in the woods. So then you just act out the story that you told.
Jeez.
And that way, because like I feel like usually when someone tells like a ghost story, then it's like you have someone come up and scare them by the fire or whatever. You know? But like if you have like no one's gonna suspect the whole group in on the
That's
same
true.
thing, you know what I mean? And let alone there to be other people that are in on it that aren't at the bonfire. Like,
right.
So this is gonna be an elaborate plan.
That would be like if somebody's birthday was also in October.
Yes.
So you're getting everybody together.
Yeah. Right. So that's my try to make a scary story come true to try to frighten somebody.
Oh my god!
Oh my goodness! There he is, man. Tommy.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello.
How's it going? Hey guys, how's it going? You like that new the new one? It's a new one I got.
Is that your new phrase?
Hey guys, how's it going? I don't know if I'll keep that, but I'm thinking about it. How is it going, man?
It's going well. How about you?
It's pretty good.
You got anything for us today?
I do. I heard a little birdie told me.
Yeah.
You guys are doing some spooky episodes. They're my favorite.
We are good. We're on the same page then.
Good. So I thought I'd share something that was a little spooky to me.
Okay, what is that?
And it's something that I learned today.
Okay.
And that's that today I learned ant queens, whatever you like to call them, can take over other colonies by murdering their real queen and bathing in her body fluids to avoid detection. And since ants can only, and I don't know this word. I don't think anybody really knows this word. It might be a fake word. Parasitize other specific species. It is speculated that some ants decorate their homes with the heads of other ant species to mask their own scent.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's spooky.
You know what? I didn't know that either. So you taught me something today.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting.
It is interesting, but it is very spooky as well.
Yeah, so I hope you don't know any queen ants because they might kill your queen. Huh?
Are you thinking that it's like aunts and uncles?
Is not aunts and uncles? How do you spell ant?
I think they're talking about ants as in like the bug.
What are those?
The bug, have you ever seen A Bug's Life?
Oh.
Those are ants. Or the movie Ants.
Oh.
That's not talking about ants.
I always call those little black guys.
No,
those little black guys,
or little red guys.
Yeah, or little, those little guys.
Yeah, no,
depends on the color.
Those are bugs.
In Bug's Life, it's those little blue guys.
Yes, yeah. That's what we're talking about here. Not your ant is not going to kill you, Tommy, and cut your head off.
I thought it was weird to say it was a colony.
Yeah, yeah.
My aunt certainly doesn't rule my colony, but I mean, I guess. And I don't call her the queen. That makes more sense, yes. Daniel.
Yeah. So I'm glad I could shed some light on that for you.
All right. Well, see ya.
Bye, Tommy.
See ya, Tommy. That was a very interesting.
That was a very interesting conversation that I had with him.
I didn't know about that actually at all.
I didn't either.
It's weird. It's a weird one. So
right.
number 2 for me.
Yes.
This one also a little more elaborative.
Okay.
So you just gotta in life, the rain falls on the just and the unjust. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So something bad is bound to happen in your life. So you just wait for that bad thing to happen.
Okay.
And then you start this.
Okay.
Okay. So let's say, I don't know, your dog dies.
Okay.
Like, man, you and your friend who you own a dog with are like
your roommate,
your dog roommates.
Yeah. Your dog roommates.
You're like, oh man, that really sucks. That's just too bad.
Yeah.
Our dog died. And then, you know, like you start saying like, man, I really hope we aren't like cursed. You know, you ever heard about that? Like your dog dies and you're cursed now? And they're like, no, that's stupid. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Okay.
And then you start like just like making other bad things happen. So like you're like, oh look, the TV broke. That sucks. Or like, oh man, I got a screw in my tire. Must be the curse.
Yeah.
Or like, oh man, the mirror broke. Look, it's shattered.
Right.
Oh, that sucks. Or like, oh man, look at the dead bird that just flew in the window.
Yeah.
And then you burn down the house. Okay.
Oh, gosh,
all right.
okay.
So like the house is burned down, and they're like, it's the curse. It's got to be the curse. And so they're like, you know, now they're like, you know what? Maybe all of those things that I didn't attribute to the curse are actually part of the curse.
Right.
Okay, so now you and your roommate have bought a new house together.
Okay.
And you got a new dog. You know, everything's starting to feel better. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
It's starting to look up.
Yeah, things are starting to look up. They're like, maybe we broke the curse. We just need to get out of that nasty house. Yeah.
That nasty
That nasty cursed house.
Yeah.
And then you are up cleaning the gutters on a ladder. And you're like, ooh, look at me. I'm just jumping around on the ladder and being all unsafe. And you make sure that they see you. And then you just happen to have like those fake arms that look like arms.
Uh-huh.
And you fall down the ladder. You fall down and act like you're dead.
Okay.
And your arms are broken because they look all wobbly
wonky.
and wonky and funny. And so then they're like, oh my gosh, the curse. And then they come over to you and you're like, Spookellington. and then you're like, I was the one who burned down our house, but don't tell the insurance company. And so that's
your friend's like, I thought it was weird that none of your stuff was burned. Yeah. All your stuff was out in the yard for some reason.
Pure luck. So yeah, that's my number 2.
Okay, that one's very extreme. I'm kind of scared as to what your first one's gonna be. Okay, that takes a lot of planning.
I mean, yours did too.
Mine did too. You know what's gonna take even more planning?
And what's that? Your number 2?
Pretend to have a heart attack.
Oh,
is the name of this one.
Okay.
So this is like double spook.
Is this your number 1?
No, this is my number 2.
Okay, good.
This is double spook.
Double spooked.
So you get with a group of friends and you say, I have a prank.
Okay.
Or I have a spook that we're gonna play on this friend.
Okay.
You guys are gonna go to him and say, let's play spook on me.
Oh.
So they come up with this elaborate thing to where they're quote unquote scaring you.
Oh, I see.
So like, you know, they set it up, whatever. You walk in the house, they jump out, scare you.
Okay.
But then you start to pretend like you're having a heart attack.
I see.
Because you got spooked so badly.
Spooked.
And they all are like, oh my gosh. And the one friend that doesn't know obviously is like, guys, we need to call like an ambulance.
Right.
So then like one of the friends that's in on it's like, I'm on it. And then they don't actually call 911.
I see.
They call someone else. And then basically you just fake your own death right there on the floor.
On the spot.
Spot. And then you have other friends with like lights outside.
Oh, geez.
And then they break in and they say they say Spookellington.
There it is. Yeah.
Or you can say it. You can like grab their collar.
Even better.
Spookellington.
Yeah.
And then so that's like you plan a fake prank.
That's
to
pretty
prank
good.
Your friend.
Very good prank.
Yeah.
Fake prank.
Yes. So that's my number 2.
That's very spooky. All right.
And then you probably lose your friendship with that.
You may lose a friend or two
because you faked your own death right in front of them. So,
all right. So here's my number 1.
Okay,
you ready?
I am.
Okay. All right. So you gotta be living with somebody.
Okay.
And it's got to be that like the two of you always argue about like something. There's got to be something, like whether that be the temperature in the house.
Yeah.
We'll just use that as the example.
Okay.
All right. So like you're like, oh, it's too hot in here. And the other one's like, oh, it's too cold. You guys just can't ever
agree.
I can't ever agree. All right. So then you die.
Like
okay?
actual.
And it's got to be that you die like unjustly so that you become a ghost. Okay.
Okay.
So probably cold related. Let's say that you don't like it being cold.
Yeah. Okay.
And you probably die of like
you freeze to death.
Yeah, you freeze to death, or like an ice thing fell off the top.
An icicle.
Like, the icicle fell in your eyeball and it went through your brain.
Yeah.
All right. So now you're the ghost of the house.
Okay.
So that's pretty spooky in of itself.
Pretty spooky.
But
because you had a fake funeral and everything.
Well, no, it's real.
Or you had an actual.
You had an actual funeral. So that person.
So
now,
you actually died.
You actually died. You're now a ghost.
Okay.
And now you're here to haunt your friends.
I see. Okay.
But you had to make sure that you had something that you remember. Like, there's got to be something that you grasp onto that like you can scare your roommate.
You have unfinished business.
Unfinished business of the thermostat. And so now they're like, oh, finally, this person's dead. I can make it as hot as possible. But
I'm so glad I killed that friend with the icicle.
Yeah, and now you have control of the thermostat, and you turn it down or turn it just completely off and just really throw them off.
Yeah.
Keep that going for a while.
Yeah.
And then actually, could be Halloween, but this works best as like more of a Christmas Carol type of thing.
Okay.
They're about to turn it on, and your face pops out of the
out
of the thermostat. Like spooky, and they get so scared because you're a ghost and you came out of the thermostat.
Because it's not a prank.
Yeah, it's not really a prank.
Spook.
Yeah, so that's pretty spooky.
I would do one change.
Okay,
you're actually the one that likes it to be cold.
Okay,
because like they say that when there's a ghost, there's like a chill in the air.
That's true. There you go.
So they hate it being cold.
Okay.
So they like, along with you keep changing it, when they change it up to hot, you keep going next to them and they're like, why? It's 85 degrees in here. Why am I still cold?
Yeah.
And then on Christmas Eve, you say, Spookelington.
Just when they least expect it.
Yeah.
So.
And then you say, well, my unfinished business is done.
And then you actually die.
You go up to heaven. So, okay. So you actually just die.
You actually die.
And you hunt. Okay. I'd say that's probably the best spook of them all. You probably should have gone last, because that's better than my number one.
No.
This one's called The Scarecrow.
Oh.
So you gotta pick someone who you know their schedule very, very well.
Okay.
You gotta know like when they go to work, what their route to work is, like when they're coming home, what restaurants they like to go to, you know, what time they go to bed, what time they wake up. All like you just gotta know like their schedule very well.
Okay. All right.
But you buy the scarecrow. You get a scarecrow. You make one. You buy one. Whatever.
All right.
And there's got to be something specific about it. Like it's got to have like yellow flannel or something. Like something that's like that most scarecrows don't have. Like most scarecrows probably have like red flannel or something.
I see. Yeah,
something that sticks out. It's like, oh, I've seen that.
It's got a flower in its pocket.
Yeah, or it has a top hat on.
Okay.
Or something. And you can even be with it. Well, hold on. So then you start getting to places right before they do.
Okay.
And you like stake it in the ground.
I see.
So like on their way to work, it's on the side of the road in a field,
freaky.
You see the one, and you can even be with them at one point, and you'd be like, "That's weird. That scarecrow has a top hat, not a scarecrow hat." Like or whatever.
I see.
Point out the thing that's specific about it. And then and this can be all of October or maybe even the whole year. Like start it like, you know, March. It just like spans all year.
Yeah.
And just every once in a while they're driving or they're at a restaurant or something and they look out the window and they see this one scarecrow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then on Halloween night, you say, let's go do something spooky. Let's go on a hayride.
Okay.
So you go to the hayride, and actually for us this would be possible because we're friends with Brandon, who owns a haunted thing.
Yes. Yeah.
So we could be like, hey, we're gonna do this, you know. So you go on this haunted attraction, And then there's the scarecrow, and and at this point, like the person has told you multiple times, I keep seeing the scarecrow.
I see, yeah.
But this time, it's not the fake scarecrow; it's someone that's actually in the scarecrow that's dressed as the scarecrow. So then, like, I don't know, you could pretend like the thing breaks down or something.
Oh, and the scarecrow is just sitting there, and then all of a sudden it comes alive.
Yes, and it starts chasing your friend.
Ew, that would be very scary.
Or you could go on like a spooky walk.
I see.
Where it's just like a group of friends. It doesn't have to be like this huge like hayride, but it's just like a group of friends, and then you're like, "What is that?"
You're in the woods, and then there it is.
And you have a flashlight.
Yeah.
And you kind of you see it from a distance. You're like, "What is that?" And your friend's like, "Guys, that's the scarecrow." And then you're like, no, it can't be. And you start walking closer, but your friend is too scared. They're like, don't go near it. And then it like comes off the thing and starts chasing.
It kills the friends first.
Yeah, it like tackles. Yeah. Now, here's in my mind, I'm thinking Ethan. I would want to do this with Ethan, but Ethan has a conceal and carry, and he would shoot.
He would shoot something or someone.
So I don't think it would be good to do it to Ethan. But so don't pick a friend that has conceal and carry.
Yeah, bad idea.
Maybe even pick someone who's more left leaning that doesn't like guns.
There you go. Or have someone in the group that does have a gun, but make them put some fake like bullets
blanks
in there. Yeah.
Yes, and then you shoot the blanks and it doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
that's awesome. that takes a little bit more prep.
Yeah,
like because you would have to buy a little like
blood, the splurty things,
or I guess it wouldn't be blood. Maybe like hay pops out or something. But yeah, so yeah, it's called the scarecrow because scarecrows are creepy, and I feel like if you saw one every once in a while, just like the same one
scare.
At different places everywhere you go, I think that'd be spooky. And then it comes to life and chases you. So.
I like it.
That's my number one.
Thanks.
It's not as good as dying and actually haunting somebody, but
I think it's very good though. Well, that was our episode, huh?
That was a long episode. I feel like
it was. That was almost an hour and a half.
There we go.
At this point,
for some reason, our Halloween type episodes are always the longest. It seems like
it does appear to be that way.
So we'll see about in 2 weeks how long that one is.
We'll see.
Okay. Well, anything else?
Hey, you guys are the best, but we're the best.
You can never be perfect, but you can always be better.
we love you.
Spooky.